Well, hello good people, it's your favorite son of Orbis, Mr. Passion here, and welcome back to another episode of Hytale in Minecraft. Why do I always forget that part? Anyways guys, today we are going to be doing something related to the Kweebecs. As you know, the Kweebecs are my favorite animal creature in Hytale, and I decided to build a Kweebec home. So I put out a poll on Twitter, I think a couple of days back, and asked you guys to decide between the stone circles or the Kweebec homes, and 81% of you guys, or the majority, chose the Kweebec homes. So that is what we did today. But guess what? It's just more than that. I did not just build one Kweebec home, I built a village. And as you've seen in the thumbnail, yep, it is the village alongside a river. I like that image so much, this one here, and that is what we're going to be working on today. So right in front of me is the place I'm going to be building it at, and I guess you guys are just going to catch it in a time lapse. So let's go. Oh, and also, if you can, at any one moment, my Instagram and Twitter handles show up at the corners of the screen, so check them out, such that you're able to participate in the polls like the one I did to decide what I was going to be building today. Okay, so I'm going to have to apologize for what happened here. Basically, I wasn't able to render out the videos from the replays in replay mode, because whenever I would open the video, it just was blank and was not loading in the chunks for some reason. However, I was able to salvage at least 2 minutes in the last bit over the last replay I had made, which involved me just putting in the fine details. So I guess you're gonna have to forgive me for that. I'm sorry, but let's just see that as the time lapse for now, and then we shall come back in and do a tour. Okay, besides the major disappointment of me not being able to record the building up of the trees, I feel like the Kweebecs are my favorite part of Hytale, to be honest, simply because I just want to see the dynamic of how the players are going to interact with the Kweebecs in general. It is known that when the Kweebecs die, they become trees, and I'm curious to see whether they become these huge trees that they turn into homes, or maybe they are just normal trees, or the autumn forest trees. Because if you see, like some of the screenshots show the Kweebec children as I think fruits. They look like kind of like fruits. I think they are like fruits from trees, and I think then they grow up, and then I think I may be meant to believe that once they grow up, they die. Once they die, they turn into trees. I remember in one of my earlier videos when I was building the truck camper, I suggested that Kweebecs had skeletons, but when you put that into perspective, then it wouldn't make sense. Kweebecs can't have skeletons if they're just basically trees. I have a feeling a lot of inspiration was gotten from a lot of other fairy movies, whereby the forests have like tree spirits, and that's what essentially the Kweebecs are. And I'm also curious to see how deadly the Kweebec soldiers are. I don't know how I'll test that. I'll probably open like a creative world or something, and then hit one Kweebec and see whether, see how fast I will die. But if I'm in creative, I don't think they will attack me. Anyways, I will do my own experiments and see how deadly they are. I wonder whether we'll be able to find any loot also in the Kweebec villages. Maybe, maybe not. They don't look like they'll have much, because they don't look like they use any heavy weaponry or any kind of metallic weapons. So I guess mostly maybe food and sustenance, and maybe cool magic herbs like from the Kweebec elders. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, boom! Look at that beauty. I really, you know what, even I am breathless. But anyways, let's just take a tour around this place. But before that, since you've already seen it with these shaders, I did a bit of research. What research, you ask? Yes, I went ahead and tried to find what shader pack I would use that would closest resemble Hytale. So as many of you know, Hytale does have its own shading technique, and this is what I was able to come up with. The shader pack I'm using right now is Silda's enhanced default, and as you can see, the look generally resembles Hytale. The shading, even the way the sky looks like, at least from the screenshot, and that is what we're going to use while we're touring this place. So what do we have here? We basically have trees that are somewhat identical but not really. They are in different shapes and sizes, but the structure is pretty much the same. For this store, I did not do anything in the interior, simply because these trees are not to scale as compared to the Hytale counterparts, simply because the Hytale ones are a bit bigger. Probably this is like half the size of the other ones, just like many of the other builds I've been doing in here. They're probably half the size of each, because the Hytale ones seem just to be bigger, maybe because there's a wider block palette, or the tree size is not as big and they're able to use smaller block sizes versus just this one chunky block we have here. Okay, so each of the trees has platforms on them. Each platform probably has some hanging lights, but some of the trees have two, some of the trees have one platform, others have three. I think that depends on the size of the tree, simply put, because if you see in the screenshot, there are different platforms that are not necessarily natural to the tree but seem like they were built intentionally. However, the place the Kweebecs will live is the down area, like down here. Why? Because it seemed that the tops or the different platforms are for the razor leaf rangers. If for those of you who do not know, the razor leaf rangers are the soldiers, I would say, of the Kweebecs, and in every Kweebec village you'll find a couple of them, I'm sure, and their lookout position is basically these platforms, so they're able to look out for different types of threats and enemies. The other thing I noticed from the screenshot is the fact that this particular screenshot I used was by a riverside, which looked like it was in a swampy area, or it was going through a swamp, which I am made to believe is also part of the Emerald Grove, which is the name of Zone 1. So we should expect to find the Kweebec villages in many places, not only by rivers, but I'm sure there are some that may not be by rivers. If maybe most of them are by rivers, then that would be cool, because we would know how to get to them. But I'm assuming that not all of them are by rivers. However, they will spawn in any part, whether the plains of Zone 1 or even near the swamps, or I don't know, maybe in the autumn forests, as we have no confirmation of that, but at least we know they can be in the swamps and in the plains. Which also brings me to the conclusion that the Kweebecs have two main enemies. And hear me out. Besides the trucks, the Kweebecs also have the fence stalkers as their enemies. Now, for those of you that may not know what that is, the fence stalkers are a certain frog-like mob that lives mostly in the swamps. And we know the swamps are just a mini biome or microbiome of Zone 1. And that being said, it means, imagine a place like a village that you find near the river that is like this and it's in a swampy area. You're definitely bound to find those fence stalkers. Yeah, that's my, those are my speculations for the Kweebec villages that we have seen so far and what we should expect to find. Now, I'm not going to do a walk around in without the shaders, because I feel like this version, this enhanced default, is pretty much as close to Hytale as I can get, and the other shader type is for eye candy. Yeah, this is how it looks, the typical Silda's Vibrant Light shaders. It looks great, I must say, beautiful. But as we close out of this video, I just want to talk about a few things. So, as you know, Hytale just released a new blog post, I think yesterday. As of the day of me recording this video, it is yesterday. And it was a bit heartbreaking that there were no big reveals, except the penguins, of course, which are cute, man. There are a lot of videos that have come out doing a deep dive into what Hytale meant, and I'll just link a couple of them down below that I found really interesting, or that are, you know, up to speed by a couple of other content creators that do Hytale videos, and I hope you guys like them too. But anyways, that has been it from me. It's been your favorite Lost Prince of Orbis, Mr. Passion, and until next time, see you guys. Oh, and by the way, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you would like to see in the next video. You can also leave your comment down below. Tell me what you'd want me to build that is from zone 1 particularly. Yeah, so I'm going zone by zone, so I want to make sure I've exhausted zone 1 by the time Hytale comes out. I should have exhausted all the prefabs we would have seen, if possible. Anyways, yeah, see you guys. Bye.